Today we're going to find out what energies surround February 2021 for you. But before I show you the choices and we get into that, I kind of want to talk about the numerology aspect of February 2021. Now, 2021 is the energy of number 5. Number 5 talks about freedom and changes that we are going to be experiencing this year. Number 5 is also the Mercury energy, so it's about your intellect, your belief systems, communications, and all that sort of thing. And what I feel like is going to be happening this year is there's a break in tradition or break from the normal. We're going to be starting to kind of question authority or informations that are kind of brought to us in the forefront. What's really hidden behind the scenes is what we're going to want to really investigate and dig deep into. So this year there could be some changes that we experience. In particular, we have the Hierophant card, which is the 5th number of the major arcana, right? And the Hierophant talks about authority figures, bosses, whoever is sort of making decisions in the world, and religious figureheads and those sort of things. We are going to start to question. There could be some changes that we experience that are sort of not the norm, I guess you could say, right? Last year was the Rahu energy of the dragon's head, North Node, which is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4, right? So the 4 number is really that dragon's head energy of like hunger and drive and some illusions that were happening. And I think what happened with last year is that we were more in power of our own sort of thinking process or thought process or whatever I want to say. Is that I feel like we have been brought into a situation forcefully to then try to investigate the truth of the nature, the truth of a situation. There was a lot of illusions that were casted on us. Is it this? Is it that? And there was a divide and separation that we felt. But overall, I want to say that this year, whatever changes we're going to be going through, whether it's unconventional or different, it is all to offer us more freedom in the end, although we may not feel like it at this moment. And more so than ever, it is time for us to do our own research and to communicate our truth. And February, we're going to go into the number 7 energy of K2, your South Node. So what's going to be happening in February is that there is more of a focus on the spiritual. K2, the dragon's tail, is more inward, introverted, right? So we're going to go within. We're going to want to more or less spend more time alone in order to get to know ourselves better and our spiritual lessons that we are currently learning. And so K2 can kind of separate you from certain things in your life. So you might feel that the things that you normally surround yourself, you're wanting to kind of step away from it in order to focus inwards more. That's just the universal month number of number 7. So very, very spiritual month. But, with the Chariot card, which is the 7th card in the major arcana, it kind of talks about the Chariot is the moon, right? It is it's Cancer, it's the moon. So you're kind of stepping away from whatever it is that was comfortable in the past and you're wanting to just go your own way. That's really that K2 energy. So you're kind of reflecting on your talents and how to sort of improve the talents that you already have, your inner wisdom, your ancient knowledge that you carry within your soul, and you're kind of just letting that be a fuel to the car in order for you to move to your own destination, like how you feel, where you want to go, not what anybody else is trying to tell you what to do, right? So that is really that energy that we're walking into. February is more of an independent one. Now, at times you might feel a little lonely because it can kind of do that to you, but just know that that is not what really is happening. Take that time in order to look within, in order to become more spiritual and to practice your own whatever it is that you want to practice, right? Your spirituality, some talents that you have, the things that you're curious about. So you want to build on your wisdom and intellect. well, whatever the case, there's movement. There's movement that is away from something. Okay, that's sort of the overall energy of K2. There's also some separation, that sort of thing. Now I'm gonna go show you the choices that we have for February, and I'll see you soon. Okay, group number 1, let's find out your message for February. All right. So there could be some financial changes that are coming up for you. So pay attention to your finances, what's coming, what's going. I know when our money is kept electronically, it's like you never know like what's coming and going, right, in your funds. There could be some subscriptions that you may have forgotten you're subscribed to, so you might want to like take some, you know, a day out to kind of look over your finances. The other thing is, not in a negative way, right? There could be some changes coming up in your finances where you are kind of investing in something big, okay? Like I don't know, a piece of a new electronic device or something that is kind of costly. You could be kind of purchasing and investing in. The other thing is there could be some changes in your finances when it comes to where it's coming from, like a career change of some sort. In any case, it's also very important for you to invest in your visions, your dreams, and your aspirations, okay? So let's see, for group number 1. Here we go. So we have the 3 of Wands, the Tower, and the 5 of Swords, okay? And then I'm gonna pull a dice here to see what the major theme for February for you is. Oh, it's going off camera. I'm gonna go do it again. Here we go, 9. All right, so what I see for you here is there's some kind of an ending that is coming your way in February. Now, the 9th house can talk about some traveling that you're doing, some, you know, very influential people coming in your life. That's sort of like a teacher or a guide that guides you in the right direction, like a teacher or a boss, or it could be a parent or a grandparent or somebody who just sort of is kind of a guru, a teacher, a leader that you can kind of follow. So listen to their advice. The other thing is there could be some traveling. I mean, I don't know how much of that is available this year so far, but regardless, it could be a journey of the mind that you're going through. The 9th house kind of talks about education as well, and studying and divine knowledge. So there could be something that is coming to you where you're wanting to kind of study about it, and it's really important for you to do your research on this subject as if it were something that you're really wanting to learn and gain all the information from. And so with the 3 of Wands, the Tower, and the 5 of Swords, what I do see is that there could be a plan that goes astray, okay? So again, what you want to do is you want to make sure you're dotting all your I's and crossing your T's, to where if you have something major planned in February, you want to make sure it goes off smoothly. Get prepared for it in advance. Do all the research that you got to do, and all that kind of stuff is what I'm seeing here. And you might have to kind of make a change of plans, or you might have to just go with the flow with the changes that you do experience, okay? Because I feel like with the number 3, there's some sort of an expansion coming in your life, something on the horizon that is going to really change the way that you view your life and the course of things. Number 3 can talk about creativity and expansion and knowledge that you're gaining, right? And joy that you're about to experience. But before that can happen, the Tower and the 5 of Swords is saying, hey, change of plans, change of direction, something's got to change. It's not going to be what you think it's going to be, okay? Now, I don't mean for my readings to incite fear in anybody, so that's not what I'm saying. There's a bunch of people watching. Maybe it doesn't resonate with everybody, but why does it have to change? Okay, the reason why it has to change is because with the 5 of Swords and the Tower card, there's some red flags you're ignoring. Okay, there are some things that are being communicated to you that perhaps you're not seeing clearly, or you're refusing to look at, or you're just kind of ignoring, or whatever. So what's important right now is for you to pay attention to the signs and cues, the red flags, and don't ignore it, because you don't want to be like these two people jumping out of the the tower, right? Last minute. If you smell smoke, chances are there is fire. So if something's shady, if something is like not quite, you don't feel right about it, it's not sitting right with you, there's like a gut feeling you have is like, hold on a minute, this smells off. It's like, I use this example a lot, but you go into the fridge, there's no expiration on it. First, you want to smell it before you ingest it. Before you put it in your body, in your temple, you want to make sure that that's not going to fuck up the whole system, right? So you don't want to just willy-nilly just eat everything without smelling it, without testing it. That's sort of the thing. And then when you smell it, it's like, it's off, I better not eat it. It goes in the trash. Basically, that's what I'm saying here, okay? Now again, I'm not here to incite any fear. I just want you to know, if it smells funny, it's not right, it's not good. And you will be able to escape the situation before it's too late, okay? Now, the Five of Swords also, there's some sort of miscommunication that could be happening. What's best for you is to kind of just focus within. Now, not everyone's kind of awarded that, right? Sometimes you just gotta go out there and interact with people, and you don't really have a choice, right? So what it's saying is just like, say what you have to say. Don't say any more than what is necessary in this moment. Keep your secrets to yourself. Keep your plans to yourself. Keep your opinions to yourself, at least when it comes to the people that may be very, very sensitive to it, or people that really don't know who you are. Because if it's your family and your friends and they know who you are, there's some nuance to that, right? But if it's a complete stranger or somebody who just doesn't know you quite yet, you don't want to go off and like say things, because it could create some sort of a miscommunication, okay? But, you know, I think that in any case, by the end of February, what you thought of something, your opinion's completely going to change on it. So you believed in something and you no longer believe in it. Or there's a piece of information that gets introduced and you have a completely different opinion on this particular thing. So hold your tongue. You know, don't make any type of decisions where you haven't thought about it and planned it. You don't want to make any decisions off the cuff. But there could be some interruptions and changes that you're going to be experiencing in February. Okay? All right, so that's what I see for you guys. All right, group number 2, let's find out your main message for February. Before we get into it, let's roll the dice really quick to find out the major theme for group number 2. 11. Okay, so number 11 talks on the fact that you're going to be feeling extremely sensitive. 11 is the higher vibration of 2, right? So it's the moon energy. You're going to feel very, very sensitive, so you want to make sure that you're taking care of your emotional and your mental health. The second thing is that you're connecting more with the feminine energy, right? So the people in your life that possess feminine energy, you're wanting to surround yourself with them, or you're wanting to do things like get creative and intuitive and psychic and, you know, things to do with spirituality. Those things are maybe things that you're being more drawn towards. And the other things that I see here is that maybe because you're sensitive, because your sensitivity is heightened, you're going to feel more psychic and intuitive. The need for you to reflect on yourself, within yourself, is very, very important, and to listen to what your intuition is guiding you to do. On the other hand, the 11th house can talk about friendships and cooperations and communities and people that you feel you belong to. These are things that are going to be of focus. The other thing with the 11th house is abundance and blessings. So be sure to kind of pay attention to that, because there's going to be a lot of blessings that are coming your way. Be grateful for that. And maybe those blessings do come through your community or group of people, okay? Or maybe it's just this sort of like blessing that you have been waiting on, and it really brightens your day. So that's what I see with the number 11. Okay, so let's see your major themes for February. Look at that flame. I'm shuffling aggressively. All right, group number 2, major theme for February. Group number 2, major theme for February. Okay, oh great, 8 of Pentacles. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. Okay, and the 7 of Swords. Interesting. Let's take this in. Okay, so first of all, what I see for you here is I talked about blessings, right? With the 8 of Pentacles, this is very much that energy of you putting in a lot of hard work and effort and you finally seeing the results come from it. So in that sense, I think that financially there's some good news coming your way in February, in which you see an increase of money, increase of finances and material accumulation happening in February. But it doesn't come without hard work because the 8 number does require for you to put in a lot of hard work and effort and energy into the things that you're trying to manifest in your life, right? So it's really kind of like long-term investments, long-term interest that you have that could finally turn into income, okay? Or there's some sort of positive results come from the things that you have been kind of pining for long-term and putting in work on a long-term basis. Excuse me. Let me take a breath. Okay, the other thing that I see here is that there's something that you're willing to do long term that you are going to be starting in February. So let's just say there's something that you're wanting to educate yourself, learn, that could potentially turn into financial accumulation in the long term. It's something that you're going to be starting in February that you could yield some long-term great results from, okay? And with the Ace of Wands, I believe it starts from your passion. I believe it starts from the things that you're wanting to grow in your life. So if it's finances, beautiful. If it's some physical health things that you're working on, you're like, hey, you know what? I do know that, I mean, this is for me personally. I didn't gain all this weight overnight, right? So I'm not going to lose it overnight. I'm going to have to put some long-term effort. It's going to be a lifestyle, not a diet, right? That's sort of the thing that the Ace of Wands talks about. So that's just my example. But for you guys on a personal level, it can be like something that you're wanting to kind of really invest in long-term. Sorry if I keep repeating myself, is what I see here. And it's like personal growth. It gives you empowerment. It gives you confidence. And I love that. That really is the key for you to find this success, okay? And then the 7 of Swords kind of speaks on the fact that you're being really smart about it. And I want you to know, I have developed some new kind of feelings about the 7 of Swords in the past week. I have been journaling and I have been writing and meditating on each card of the tarot deck. Even though I have been reading for years and years and years, I kind of am just making some personal connections with each card, which is a really good thing to do that I have kind of not been doing for a very long time. I kind of lost connections with the tarot and then I came back and but maybe you guys want to do that too. It doesn't matter how long you have been reading. It's always good to kind of connect on a personal level with each card in the tarot deck. So it kind of broadens your perspective on each card. Sorry to get kind of off topic, but anyways, the 7 of Swords, what I feel from this card is that you're being smart about your decisions, okay? Because normally the 7 of Swords, they leave a couple of swords behind and they take what they can out of the situation. And they're kind of like, okay, if I want it, I could come back to it later. It's always going to be there. It's solidly planted into the ground, you know? So on the other hand, I feel like it's just saying, take what you can. Don't kind of give up and lose everything just because, or throw everything on the ground just because you can't take it all. If you can just take 70% of it, that is good. Okay, you don't need to take 0 or 100. You don't got to be extreme about it. Okay, so just do what you can in the moment in February. and you're being really smart about your decisions, which I love. So don't think on an extreme term, but it's like, okay, what can I do in this moment? What can I take out of this situation? And what actions do I need to do step by step? To-do list, cross everything off one at a time. You can't cross everything off at once, but today I'm going to do this. Break it down day to day, right? That's what it's saying. And maybe, you want to kind of get into planning your weeks. That way you'll be more productive, and a lot of the stress that might kind of stay on your mind might kind of dissipate if you can just do a couple of things a day that you have been meaning to do, right? That's what I feel like the Seven of Swords is speaking on. The other thing is, I feel that you are kind of on some level releasing some of your anxiety or stress in February, because you're becoming more spiritual and philosophical with the way that you view your problems. Okay, or obstacles or what have you, because the 7 number is very, very spiritual. It's some divine spiritual knowledge that you carry and the wisdom that your soul already knows from many, 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 many lifetimes. And so right now it's kind of relying on that. It's saying that now is a time where you want to kind of look within. You want to do some spiritual practices. You are kind of allowing your mind to rest and your heart to speak louder. Okay. And I know that's kind of cheesy, but I am a cheesy person, and I really feel that the 7 of Swords is saying that some of the burdens that you have been carrying on a mental level are going to start to feel at more ease and relaxed, because you're kind of looking at things in a more of a spiritual term, if you can, if I can say it that way. But I feel like you're kind of detaching from some old belief systems or things that you no longer resonate with. And the things that used to kind of bother you are no longer bothering you. So I love that for you. You're making some smart decisions, and that's really the key, is persistence, and, slow and steady wins the race. It's not an overnight thing. It's not an overnight success, but there's blessings associated with that. The 11th house does talk about blessings, okay? So I do see some great, great results that you're going to yield from this. Okay. All right, group number 3. Let's find out your major themes for February. First, I'm going to pull some cards, and then we're going to pull the dice, or throw the dice, or whatever the right term is. All right, so group number 3, major themes for February. Group number 3, okay, so we got 1 card there so far. Group number 3. Okay, here we go. So we have the Queen of Wands, the 7 of Swords, and the 2 of Wands. All right, and then we're gonna throw the dice here. Major theme for group number 3. Okay, so we have the 2nd house, or the number 2 as well. So the number 2 speaks on the fact that it's the moon. It's a lot of reflecting that you're going to be doing in February. And it's also kind of nurturing your inner femininity and connecting more with feminine energies and activities, becoming more psychic and in tune with your inner voice, more sensitive, more so than ever, creative, receptive, that sort of thing. And maybe wanting to kind of connect more with your mother, or nurturing yourself, nurturing other people. It could be about relationships as well. And this is also about your ability to acquire money. So maybe there are some things that are happening in February where you're kind of rethinking your finances, or how to acquire more money, thinking about these things, maybe to do with your material and financial goals, or the things that you already have, or maybe you're investing in something in a material sense. But whatever it may be, the Queen of Wands, the 7 of Swords, and the 2 of Wands really makes me believe that you're walking into your own empowerment, okay? Queen of Wands tells me of the independence that you're feeling. So you're feeling independent and powerful and empowered, and you are just sort of creating the magic within you. Using the magic within you in order to create what it is that you're trying to manifest in your life. Because the two of Wands, you got a lot of 2 energy, right? The 2 of Wands shows me that you have been planning something in your life. And this plan has something to do with your growth in general. This plan can be something to do with your physical health as well, or the way that you sort of present yourself out into the world. Your fashion sense, your health, you know, maybe it's your kind of, you're cutting your hair, or you have like a goal in mind of where you wish, what you want to kind of look like, or what's going to make you feel better, that sort of thing, right? So that it could be manifested in a physical way, that could be changing, that you have kind of planned for yourself. And the other thing is, I feel like this is sort of a plan for you to kind of gain more authority in your life. So it could be a career, it could be a hobby or interest that you have that potentially could turn into and blossom into something more that gives you more freedom in your life, because the Queen of Wands doesn't care about anybody. Okay, now in the most positive sense, I'm saying she doesn't care what you have to say about her. She doesn't care at all. She's going to live her life the way she wants. So it's something that you got planned, that you are going to walk into that empowerment. And I love that for you, because you're feeling more, you're thriving. Okay, my channel is for over 18 people. You're feeling sexual. You're feeling so positive about yourself. You feel so good about yourself that you're magnetically attracting the things that you want in your life. But it doesn't go without acting the part. Now, if we're always coming from a lack mindset, oh my gosh, oh, I'm so broke, da 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 da, then it's never going to come to us, right? But it's equally as important for us to put in that action. That's why I got the 7 of Swords here, I believe. Because not only are you planning, you are taking the plunge and making an action in order for you to feel more confident. And growth is entering your life, right? Some sort of like just beautiful, beautiful moment in which you feel so empowered within yourself. But you have to leave the opinions of sheep behind. All right. Now, I'm sorry if I'm getting a little heated, but forget the opinions of the sheep. Okay. Just listen to yourself. The Queen of Wands doesn't take orders from any freaking body. So why are you worried about what someone else has to say? Their opinions are trash. Okay. Please. Look in the mirror and remember what a powerful being you are. You're forgetting at times. That's okay. Sometimes we forget. We got to get reminded. We go to the 8th house studio to get reminded of that. All right. So I'm here to remind you that you need to stop thinking about everybody else and what their opinions are. Don't worry about it. Do your thing. The other thing is this. You got too much on your mind. Okay, the 7 of Swords, it's like you're kind of stressed or anxious about something. And maybe it's something that you're kind of putting on the back burner. And it starts to get piled up and piled up and piled up. And you can't really delegate that to somebody else. You got to do it yourself. So start crossing off those things. I know I say this all the time. I hate talking on the phone to a representative. I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much. And then you got to wait on that stupid thing, and then you hear these like music in the background, and then you hear talking, you're like, oh, it's my turn. But no, it's just like automated message, and you gotta wait and wait and wait. Oh, I hate it, right? So, but you gotta do it. There's some things you gotta do. You gotta call that person, you gotta get that done, da 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 da. Okay? You got boxes piled up in the corner, you gotta take it to Goodwill or what have you. So the 7 of Swords is just saying, hey, take care of the things that you can take care of in the moment. Okay, the 7 of Swords came up for pile number 2, and I said a very similar thing, but for you guys, it's kind of different, right? Because you got different cards. But the 7 of Swords, in my humble opinion, is take what you can in that moment. Don't throw away what you got in your hand because you can't carry the rest of the 2 behind you. You can come back for those things. They're not a priority. Take care of your priorities, get your to-do list done, all right? And break it apart in several trips. Listen, I live in an apartment, okay? And when I go grocery shopping and I have more than 2 bags I can carry myself, I'm that person who's very, very impatient. I'm like, let me break my back, rip my fingers apart, and carry 10 bags at a time because I am too lazy to go back for a second trip. But no. You can risk breaking the things in your bag, dropping them on the ground, and breaking your fingers. You don't need to do all that. You can make several trips, right? Break it apart, go easy on yourself, take what you can get, and start taking care of your mental health. It's extremely important for you because what you're walking into is more responsibility. Yes, you will. Because with great power comes great responsibility, right? Somebody said this to me. Well, I guess, who said that? Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man's uncle or whatever, but somebody told me this quote. But I'm just saying, that's it. With great power comes great responsibility. You are going to walk into a position of higher authority, more power, and you're going to have to display some sort of confidence because you are walking into a position of leadership. And people don't want to follow a leader who's kind of like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? People are going to lose their confidence. So what you want to do is you want to reflect the person you want to become, you aspire to become. Okay, just pretend, fake it till you make it, and do what you can do in order to start, taking care of the things that you need to take care of, because you're going to have more power. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But I'm going to close off this reading, and I hope you like the short style. I did it as short as possible. Blah, blah, blah. I did it as short as possible because usually my readings are so drawn out, and I don't know, like I feel like nobody cares to sit there and listen to a 30-minute reading. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful month. Bye.